The official residence of the Prime Minister of Great Britain, number 10 Downing Street. The glittering prize for the leaders of the country's political parties as Britain turns to the hustings. When the big day comes and Britons flock to the polls, nobody really knows which government will emerge.
I haven't got much to say. It's the eve of the election, and it's up to you.
I just don't want to be British.
Get back to your own country, you told us.
On the placement of this term, punch me in the face.
Is society really saying that if we know that there's a man at that corner who has a murderous weapon in his pocket, that we shouldn't have the right to search him before he probably commits a murder?
What you gonna do? We get dropping on you, and we won't blow away, 'cause we've come out to stay. Stand there like pop, 'cause if you want to, we can't bust you and try this music. You take our leave as well, carry on regardless, and you don't like it, you don't have to use it. It's up to you. It's up to you. It's up to you. It's up to you.
When you have a police come about like make this situation tense, right? Anything could happen. But this is not the first and this will not be the last.
Well, it looks like being one of the most exciting election nights ever, with the possibility of a very close result and the prospect of Britain having its first woman Prime Minister at the end of the night.
Behind the cold computers, flow of figures, behind the professors' percentages and swings is the fate of individuals who've fought the good fight as they see it. It's not a horse race, it's a human drama and a night of history.
He's here.
Any results in yet?
I haven't heard.
Glasgow's first, isn't it?
I believe.
We could do with a portable telly.
They got one downstairs.
In here, I mean.
We shouldn't be here too long, should we?
Well, you've seen it. Election night. The new dawn. I don't want to see that in on the job. What's he like?
Big tattoo.
Talks English?
I can understand him.
Anything on him?
No, no form at all.
Maybe I should take a look.
Well, he's in the...
What time is the thought result?
Pardon?
That's the one that intrigues me.
Oh, not about 4 or 5, I don't think, if there's a recount.
Oh, what?
A recount.
This must be the only country in the world where a bloke on a murder charge can stand for Parliament. If he gets sent down, they'll bung him in the cabinet. Fucking liberals.
His name's Delroy. Leon.
And you picked him up?
Yeah, boozer at the bottom of his road. The hospital casualty doctor called the Nick at 8:30. There was no sign of Delroy at his flat. Neighbour said the boozer, we picked him up there.
Fuss.
He just laughed.
He what?
He laughed.
Bit fucking naff. Wife dying in a pool
He
of
ain't
blood.
mentioned her.
Not a word.
He ain't denied nothing either.
There's grief. Oh, what's he think we picked him up for then?
Sus.
Sus?
I reckon he thinks he's sus.
And he didn't make no racket, no screaming his rights?
No.
Or... Must have been picked up on sus a few times then.
He looks like the sort of bloke you would. I don't like the look of his beard.
Any fool?
No conviction. He's had his dabs taken a few times.
Coming to something then.
Eh?
Pick a bloke up on sus so many times you don't even notice. We ought to fit him up now and again to relieve the fucking monotony for him.
I'll check again.
Yeah. Aliases. Who's round his John?
Charlie and Harry rolling it now. Susan's there and all. There's 3 youngsters waiting social services. We'll put them in care till it's all sorted out.
Good. Want a bet on the result?
Well, the doctors say it's...
Election?
Oh.
Majority of how many?
25?
You're on.
Well, you reckon it's more?
Tory landslide.
All right, pony then.
A woman bleeds to death in her own flat, and her old man's down the pub enjoying himself. What time are they doing the post-mortem?
Well, the doctors are finished for the night now. Till 9 in the morning.
Can we charge him till then?
The doctors are positive. It's a massive hemorrhage. Harry's thrown up all over the bed sheets. The nightdress is smothered.
Cunt. I'll have the 90.
The 90?
Might break him down if he's fainting, know what I mean?
Oh, right.
Wheel him in, then. I didn't get to be in the position I'm in today by wasting time, and I want to be home in time to toast the new dawn. Book him first.
Oh, I'll wheel him in then.
Scenes of tremendous activity, fingers flying all over the place as the count is made, as you can see. She needs a 4% swing, at least, to get a very small 5-seat overall majority.
In about 2 hours or so, Mr. Jeremy Thorpe will know his political fate. It's a very difficult time. He has to face charges on other matters at the Old Bailey in 5 days.
We ain't been introduced. My name's Leon Delroy.
How very civilised, Mr. Delroy. How very nice to make your acquaintance. DC Wilby and me, D.S. Khan.
This is nice, isn't it? Ain't been in this room before.
Decor's quite simple. Let me show you around.
Oh.
We've gone for the hard wearing, but easy to clean.
Get a lot of mess in there then, do ya?
Never can tell.
Very nice. Very, well, simple.
Same with the furniture. I trust you approve.
Wow. What do you say your name was?
Khan. K-A-R-N.
Is that German or so?
My father gave it to me. His father gave it to him. Sort of a family heirloom.
Nice.
Handed down from generation to generation. All English, pure stock.
Well, this looks like the most comfortable chair.
Well, then do sit down, Mr. Delroy. Take the weight off your feet. How long did you say you were in the boozer?
From about 7-ish.
More than 3 hours solid boozing? Then, my gallfathers, you must be fucking worn out, Mr. Delroy. I do apologise. Perhaps Wilby could get a chaise longue to make Mr. Delroy here a touch more comfortable.
You're too kind, Mr. Khan. But this will do. As it happens, I ain't got too much time to spare tonight. I'm in a bit of an hurry. Going down a club to watch the election results.
The club, eh? Oh, which one's that then? Beefsteak? Brooks? White's? Or the MCC?
I ain't fussy.
It's nice to know.
Well, as it happens, working man's club. But if you're thinking of inviting me to one of them, well...
Well, actually, I wasn't. Working men's club, you see. Well, if you don't mind me asking, Mr. Delroy, what exactly do you do for work? Profession?
Well, tell the truth. It's a period of readjustment that I'm into right now.
Oh, yeah? How do you mean exactly?
Well, I'm sort of reassessing the situation. I'm thinking maybe I won't concentrate on being a CLO after all.
Oh, well, it sounds like a most fascinating field of work.
Well, to tell the truth, although it sounds glamorous...
Glamorous, yes.
It ain't. In fact, being a...
Capstan lathe operator.
Ooh. Tell the truth, it's a bit fucking boring. So for the last 18 months...
You gave the job up?
Well, more it gave me up. So me in a job centre, like, well, we've been concentrating on not doing nothing. It's a pretty fucking democratic arrangement. They do fuck all for me, and I do fuck all for them. Can I trouble you for a light?
You're not seriously proposing to smoke that cigarette without offering one to me and DC Wilby, are you, Mr. Delroy?
Here's the backy, here's the skins.
After all the hospitality we've shown you. Chair, feet up, tinkle of teacups. You might at least roll us one apiece.
Tell the truth, I had a bit of a dose a while back.
From a lavatory seat?
I reckon another geezer's spittle.
No wonder they prohibit gobbing on lav seats.
Yeah, a dose, see?
Dose.
Do you think that's funny? Well, I thought it was all right to mention it in here. In confidence, like. I mean, there's no ladies present, are there?
You know, I think I'm gonna like you, Mr. Delroy. Let's have a cup of coffee. Cup of coffee?
All right, then.
3 coffees, will we? Sorry about that, Mr. Delroy. Mr. Wilby, he's very moral.
Oh.
You're a popular man. I can see that you're a popular man. The kind of man whose company is desired.
Yeah, well, cops desire it.
Really?
Yeah, I seem to have something, you know, like a chemical aroma. Attracts cops to me. They cluster around me. They like to pass their time chatting me up. It's crazy.
You're too sociable, perhaps.
Oh, no, don't ask them. In fact, I've been known to try and keep out of their way. But it seems like right now, I can't walk down a roadway, a bus stop, or go for a drink without getting picked up by cops.
Maybe it's your personality.
If you don't mind me saying,
What's that?
I mean, confidentially, like,
Your secrets are safe with me.
I mean, I wouldn't want you to think I was complaining.
I can see you're not that sort of man.
They like to talk to me more than I like to talk to them. They even make up little lies to get my attention.
Yes.
Sus.
Oh.
Suspicion of this, suspicion of that.
I've heard of it.
Last month, well, at the bus stop, they said I was loitering to dip an old lady's handbag. Got chucked out of court. The magistrate chucked it out. No witnesses. Very next day in the park, they want me for possession of drugs. Then they find I ain't got none, so they say I'm a pusher. And I flogged them. I was in here for hours. My old lady was worried out of her head. Fat copper got my pants off, sticking his boot up my arse. So just in case I hid him up there. Then they just let me go.
Very time-consuming.
I've got a lot of spare time. But this is fucking ridiculous.
Well, look on the bright side. At least you haven't been convicted yet.
Never been no fucking crime to convict me for. Never no witnesses, never no evidence, never no fucking crime.
Temper, temper.
I never lose my temper.
Very wise. With policemen.
Lose your temper with a cop, that's assault. They lose their temper with you, that's resisted arrest.
Just a game of semantics?
I got witnesses.
Witnesses?
They ain't done nothing.
How's that then? How does anyone witness nothing?
Listen, I've got references. Tell them to go and see my last boss. The reason he got the sack for me was he said, Delroy, you lazy fucking nigger. You never do nothing. I should have got him to write that down. I should have got it in writing. Show people, show cops like you.
Labour's lost 3 seats.
Double milk in the coffee.
Is that a false?
Watch it.
She had this little diagram. She said it could mean a Tory landslide.
What did I tell you? What did I tell you? Sugar, Mr. Delroy.
Matter of fact, if you've finished, I wouldn't mind going.
Going? A responsible man like you going? We're about to celebrate the beloved Thatch. I mean, you don't want to go, do you?
I got a confession to make. I'm not Tory.
You what?
I ain't Tory.
Has the issue of law and order not engaged you, Mr. Delroy?
Well, in my personal experiences, like I was explaining, Mr. Khan, there ain't much order to law, do you know what I mean?
What'd you make of that, Mr. Wilby?
Dad?
What he said.
Sounded a bit.
A bit?
Definitely out of order.
I'm sure he didn't intend it to sound that way, did you, Mr. Delroy? Didn't intend to besmirch the men in blue? No one seems to realise, except for the Thatch, how under strength we are. You know. Fewer cops, rising crime, underpaid. I should be on sick leave.
I worked it out.
What did he say?
I think he said...
What?
I think he said he's worked it out.
What have you worked out, Mr. Delroy?
Well, I think you've got a problem. And I've seen it. With my own eyes. And having given it some consideration, I reckon...
Tell me.
If you spent less time harassing people who ain't done nothing, you'd have a lot more spare fucking time to spend chasing bastards who do crimes. That's what I think.
Must keep the streets safe for decent people.
That's kids. I'm a married man. A family man. So, if you don't mind, I'm going now. It's just sus, right? Pick up some other fucking nigger. Fun over, I'm going. I mean, there's no crime, so...
Actually, Mr. Delroy, there has been a crime tonight.
You must come across a lot of those in your job.
We do. Oh, we do.
So if you excuse me, I'm going.
You can't go.
Well, why should I stay? I mean, I've got rights.
After all, you're involved.
I'm what?
Tell him.
You're involved.
How's that? Listen, I was in the pub from just after 7. I've got witnesses. Before that, I was at home. We got this problem with the gas fire. My old lady, because she's not too well, she's cold all the time, so I was fixing the gas fire in the bedroom.
Are you qualified for such technical work? Gas is specialised.
It weren't working and the gas board wouldn't come.
Wouldn't come?
When I phoned them up, they said you had to book up for these things if they ain't emergencies. They said they couldn't come, and I said my old lady was ill, and they said, well, maybe, if one of the blokes...
Wife not well, you say? Ill?
Yeah, not too well. A few upsets. The pregnancy, you know. She had it before. She stays in bed a lot.
What, and you went out, leaving your wife ill in bed? Well, I meant to say that was a bit callous, wasn't it?
The boys and the election. It's okay. I put the kids to bed before I come out and I'll check she's all right before I go to the club. Any problems? She bangs on the floor. The kid downstairs, he runs to the boozer, tells me 2 minutes later I'm back there, okay?
So you last saw her, huh? When did you last see her?
Well, when I went to the pub. I mean, before that, 7-ish.
What was she wearing?
Eh?
What was your wife wearing when you left her 5 hours ago?
She was in bed.
Wearing?
What do you mean, wearing?
Describe what she was wearing.
Well, she was wearing a nightie thing, like.
Like what?
Like down here. Long. Kind of made her feel nice, you know, because she weren't feeling too great. Cold all the time like she was.
Colour?
Colour. What do you mean, colour? Colour in a night dress! Well, it was pink, wasn't it? Or pinkish. With white lacy bits around here and here. Kind of made her feel nice, you know, cheer herself up. She looked real good in it, you know? She looked real pretty, you know?
Wilby, would you get the,
Of course. Well, I'll be off now and all then.
I'm afraid not, Mr. Delroy. You see, there has been a crime tonight. This ain't sus.
Yeah, well, it's got nothing to do with me, because I've got witnesses that...
Sit down, Mr. Delroy!
But you got nothing on...
Sit down, Mr. Delroy!
Oh, go fuck yourself. I'm going home.
She died tonight. At 8:15, your wife died. It was a great loss of blood. In fact, when we get the post-mortem results, I wouldn't be surprised to hear that she'd bled to death.
Very good. Very good. Bit fucking cruel. Bit sadistic, like, do you know what I mean? I ain't done nothing, and my wife... How could you say such an evil thing? What are you trying to fit me up for? Eh? Me confess to robbing gas meters or something? Is that what you want? Cunt!
What was she wearing?
I told you.
Open the door, Mr. Wilby.
Crazy, you know that? Crazy! It's vicious what you said.
As you like.
So I go. Okay? I'm going out of here. Out of this madhouse. I'm off.
Just one thing, Mr. Delroy. If you'd just take a look, see if this is the nightie your late wife was wearing. Mind the bloodstains. Still warm, almost. Sit down, Delroy. A few things I want to ask you.
I hear that the Tory party headquarters are very optimistic now that they've pulled this election off.
Are you still cautiously optimistic? Yes, just cautiously. You are cautiously optimistic. You hear the polls are in your favour, Mrs. Thatcher. Thank you.
Well, if ever anyone looked like a winner, Mrs. Thatcher looks like a winner this evening as she goes off Finchley.
There's no need for all that, Mr. Delroy. I won't bring her back. You can't bring the dead back. I know about this. I've known people to die. I've even known the grief of a dog dying. Oh, that was terrible. Made worse by the feeling that I somehow shared the responsibility. "8:15. Actually, she screamed a great deal. gas ball man fortunately arrived after all to attend to the broken gas fire. He entered the premises, he heard her screaming. Your children were extremely distressed. That's the reason, I suppose, it's that feeling of helplessness. I've known that feeling when the dog I was speaking of died. I felt extremely helpless. I mean, for children, it must be inconceivable. The gas ball man did the right thing. He called an ambulance. The doctors at the hospital said it was too late. Oh, they examined her, they did their business, but they were helpless with regard to arresting the approach of death. Unfortunately, she died at 8:15.
Oh, God.
Someone once said, I recall hearing someone say that death is worse for those who survive the death. I think that may well be true. I can't confirm it with a deed. Mr. Khan, he's having his tea in the canteen. He's watching the election programme on TV and he hopes that we can deal with this without disturbing him. So, shall we begin at the beginning then?
My kids. My kids?
You're all right.
They were there.
They're in care.
What?
Social services for the night. Put them in a hostel or two, actually. They're being looked after. We arranged it all very promptly. We're used to dealing with unusual situations.
I've got to see them.
That is impossible.
They need me.
I beg your pardon?
At a time like this, they need their father, not some fucking social worker.
The time they needed their father, he was drinking in a pub. The time your wife and their mother died, you were drinking in a pub. It seems the death was extraordinarily painful, which one might imagine given the unusual circumstances.
I can't believe she's dead.
You must face the truth.
I can't believe, her dying.
Would you like to see the nightdress again? Well, it's not helping anyone, is it? In times of extreme emotional crisis, it's often advisable to occupy the mind. So, if we can establish the following facts, yes, do try to concentrate, Mr. Delroy. Her full name.
Whose?
The deceased's.
Georgie. Oh, I mean Georgina. I called her Georgie.
Is that with a Y or an IE? Y or IE?
I never wrote it down.
You never wrote down her name?
Well, when I wrote her name down, I wrote down Georgina.
Georgina, then. Her age?
She was, 29.
She had 2 children?
No, 3.
We can't count the aborted fetus as a child, not in the file.
We had 3 kids. We were gonna have 4.
Names, dates of birth?
Now.
What do you mean now?
You've just told me my wife's died.
Which is why we require all these details.
I don't know where my head is.
It's in its usual place.
I'm in my state of mind.
Do you have a history of mental disorder?
I've never had a wife die before.
First wife, only one?
Yeah. The only one.
I see.
Have you no pity? My wife. All my adult life with this lady is...
Year of marriage?
I was 20.
How old was she?
She was younger.
Of legal age to marry?
What do you mean?
In this country, a bride must be 16.
In this country, We got married.
I see.
Offspring, names, dates of birth.
Jesus Christ. You've got to forgotten. Of course I haven't forgotten. It's just in the middle of all this. The eldest?
It's Joey, he's 8, so he was born on June the 14th.
Don't sound very certain.
Well, I'm certain, I'm just not certain of the year.
The year of birth of your oldest son?
Well, I'm in a bit of a state.
Well, it seems a very simple question.
He'll be 8 on June the 14th.
Born in 1971 then?
Yeah. The year I leave you.
Were you his father?
Hey?
Only you don't seem very certain of the date of birth. Some mental block, perhaps.
Of course I'm his father. What the fuck, mister? I mean, what are you meaning? What the fuck are you getting at? What is all that?
You try to control yourself, Mr. Delroy! When I'm doing my job, I don't want to be on a murder case tonight. Now, the names and dates of birth of your other children. The other children's names and dates of birth?
Murder? How'd she die? What are you saying? Eh?
The circumstances of your wife's death are highly irregular. The doctors alerted us to the possibility of foul play, which will be confirmed by the post-mortem in the morning. That is why...
Do you think someone killed her?
Oh, yes.
Or who? I said who? Oh, for God's sakes, listen! Listen to me! Listen! It's me. I am bleeding inside. I'm bleeding, man. I've been here for nearly an hour before you tell me. My life is crushed around my ears, and you don't tell me.
Got to get the facts.
So this is how you normally do things.
Normally do things.
You're asking all these stupid fucking questions.
Procedure. You did not deviate from procedure, Mr. Wilby?
No, sir.
Quite. We have procedures, Mr. Delroy. They change from time to time. Orders from the top. From the very top. Commissioner, top cop, word in the ear. Home Secretary has a word in his ear and it gets passed down right along the line. The actual texture of the force changes from government to government. So you see, Mr. Delroy, tonight it's unusual. We're in a state of chassis tonight, at a kind of crossroads. And it really does seem as though tomorrow we shall have a new government.
Really?
ITN still reckoning on a 65% majority.
Oh, bugger!
He's got money on it, the result.
I don't give a fuck about nothing.
It's related, Mr. Delroy. Related to your predicament. You see, this may prove to be the first case to climax under the new regime, requiring different perspectives.
He couldn't remember the date of birth of his eldest child.
Well, you see, there you are. Depending on the swing of the pendulum. In the old days until quite recently, would have had to have said, our poor old colour friend here, what could be more natural in the world? The pressures he's under, the miseries of his wretched life, on the very bottom rung of society's ladder. We must try and understand, poor chap. But I sense the sands are shifting. I think, Mr. Delroy, that all those fucking bleeding art social workers are for the high jump. I think we might find ourselves on firmer ground, where we behave as policemen and not as crutches. And we ask, what do you mean you don't fucking know when the bastard you're claiming family allowance for was born? I bet you fucking remember when you go for a fucking state handout. I mean, these may be our new orders from the top. To toughen up. And believe me, Mr. Delroy, after what some of us have endured in the name of freedom and equality and civil rights and racial harmony and all that fucking bullshit, That will make a nice change. To start to come to terms with the realities of these diseased, disgusting days. I think it's on the cards. I think, actually, the beloved Thatch is not the soft touch she's reckoned to be. In fact, a little dicky-bird whispered in my ear that she's quite an admirer of policemen. That she sees we may be required for the struggle ahead to the tune of a 40% pay rise. Well, I mean, one doesn't fart about with that kind of money. Unless one intends to flex the muscle it is feeding. Or perhaps I'm going too far.
I think you are, rather.
Am I?
A long way to go.
Quite right.
Long night ahead.
Yes.
Lot can happen.
Indeed. Cup of coffee, Mr. Delroy? Fetching the coffee, Mr. Wilby, and a club biscuit. Mr. Wilby, I thought he ought to go and cool down. I forgot. I forgot his point of view. Don't want to overexcite him. He's had a lot of tragedy in his life. He took it very badly. Couldn't unburden himself. Couldn't talk to anyone. He's unlike us. Unlike you and me, Mr. Delroy. He's not a family man. Now, take me, for example. I get upset about something. I have a wife I can go home to. I can shed the labours and anxieties of the day in conversation across the supper table with my wife. She has quite a repertoire of continental dishes picked up on our travels. Now that the kids are off our hands, we have the time and the extra finance for travelling abroad. Wish we'd become quite jet-setting in our packages. In the autumn, we might pop over to California to see an aunt on the wife's side. Pretty Lake is a great deal for people like us. We buy linguaphone records and cassettes for each other at Christmas, so we can learn a phrase or two in the native tongue of the country we're going to visit in the summer, to enable us to talk to the locals and exchange of views and customs. My wife and I frequently converse on the telephone in foreign languages. I ask her what she's cooking for supper in Spanish, and then she inquires after my work in French or Greek. Oh, yes. And that's the difference between Wilby and me, between him and you. He has no family life. He's alone. He has no wife.
My wife. She died tonight. My wife. And the child she is carrying.
About her pregnancy.
They're both dead.
I do understand. And I want to help. Help you to get it off your chest. But first, well, we just have to get these things down. The basics. I mean, we don't even have your address here.
He said she'd been killed.
Oh. Yes.
Murdered.
Indeed, someone caused her death.
Who?
Who? What do you mean who?
Who did it?
Eh?
Why?
Why?
Whoever.
Come off it, old son. I mean, what the fuck do you think we brought you in here? Your address.
Jesus. You think I wouldn't even when from after 7?
There is no necessity for the person responsible for death to be with the victim at the time of the victim's last breath.
Jesus Christ.
On the contrary, in my experience of 27 murders, the killer is rarely on the scene unless it was he who called us to confess. And invariably they're domestics, husband and wife dues. Oh, of course, you never called us, did you?
I was at...
No, it was the doctor on casualty at the hospital who called us.
You think...
I never speculate. I have hunches, intuitions. I check the facts in a series of eliminations, and I'm left with the undeniable. Mostly as I had suspected. So, you live at, oh! Ha! There it is. You've lived there for how long?
I demand to phone my solicitor.
Oh, you what?
You think... What you're saying, what you're inferring... what you're inferring... I demand to talk to my solicitor.
Why?
I've got rights. I know my rights, and my rights is I can talk to my solicitor. I've been here for nearly 4 hours. Let me go.
Oh, I can't do that.
Then my right is I can talk to a solicitor.
You're insisting on
You're
that?
dead right, I'm insisting! I'm insisting! It's my legal entitlement, and I stand by my entitlements.
I see. I thought just the two of us, cosy little chat.
I demand!
All right. Get will be up here pronto. He's in the canteen. There's a man here demanding his rights. Ooh, how many's that they've lost now then? Of course, your rights, they might all be candy floss come tomorrow. The new dawn. You could make it easy for yourself.
I'm not saying nothing until I've had my rights, and that's that.
I see. Man of your word, are you?
I am.
When you say something, you stand by it.
I do.
So when you told your wife you didn't want another kid, because she was on the breadline, what with the 23 quid what's it, and, oh, yeah, that's interesting. Oh dear, oh dear.
What's the matter?
Beg your pardon?
What are you writing down? What's that then?
I'm afraid I can't tell you that, Mr. Delroy.
But you can't write...
Delroy, I don't think either of us had better say anything until you've taken advice from your solicitor, since things have become so unreasonably official. And I shall say nothing.
Well, I ain't saying nothing, neither.
Right. Bonsoir, ma chérie. Oh, je ne sais pas. Je crois que c'est pas possible que j'arrive à la maison ce soir. Parce que j'arrive pendant le matin, je crois. Oh, my wife's cooking a French lunch for us tomorrow. Très bien, ma chérie. Au revoir.
Look, what I'm saying is...
Oh, now you want to say something?
Well, be reasonable. I've been here since what?
Oh, I say. That's a very nice watch. That's a very nice watch. Indeed. Not the sort of watch I'd have expected.
Is it a crime to have a watch now?
Now, Mr. Delroy, you're being hypothetical again. Is it an offence for you to be in possession of that watch? You inquire. I do not know. I cannot know until I've sifted the facts. I do not know. You'd be amazed, Mr. Delroy, at the number of humdrum little things that can be offences these days. It's staggering. There are hundreds of new things every year. The statute book's as big as a Bible. It gets larger and larger. In some countries, they review the laws every few years and chuck out all the old, outdated, useless laws to keep the overall total down. Well, it makes life a little easier for the law enforcement officers. As it's false, of course, it makes it difficult to know, for example, what procedure to follow should we witness on East Ham High Street a crusader chopping the head off a dragon. But by and large, it's a sensible policy.
Listen,
Mr. Delroy, you have posed a highly complex fucking question, and you shall hear a highly complex fucking answer. Given the state of things in English law, the refusal of successive governments to withdraw the outdated laws, even after many centuries of disuse, we find ourselves in possession of a compelling, mind-boggling catalogue of crimes. You moan and you whine and you whimper about sus and harassment by the police, but by Christ, we could nail you any day of the week for a galaxy of crime, sunshine. Do you know that it is an offence for an Englishman over the age of 12 not to practice archery on a Sunday morning? It is an offence! I could pick you up any Sunday morning for not doing your archery, Delroy.
What are you fucking talking about?
Henry V, good King Harry. It was all his doing. You know what he was like after his 3 unforgettable victories, won by his archers. He did pass by royal decree in the early 15th century that every man over the age of 12 was to practice archery for at least 1 hour every Sunday morning, and that law has never been repealed. Although, if I ever catch you with a bow and arrow and Wanstead Flats on a Sunday morning, Delroy, I'll do you for offensive weapons. Curious, what?
Listen, I just...
See, what this country needs is a strong government to sort out the laws, bring some order.
You're mad.
Someone up there is someone out there's round the fucking bend. Do you know it's an offence to drop an hand grenade out of a balloon? I kid you not. It's okay to drop napalm in Vietnam, but it is a crime against humanity. Drop a hand grenade out of a balloon, according to the St. Petersburg Conference of 1880. I see I have intrigued you with my knowledge of history. Hated it at school, but now I can't read enough of this stuff. I belong to the History Book Club. It gives one a perspective on the things.
Callahan was on. He refused to comment. He looked extremely put out when I asked him to comment on how it was going. They were routed in Angus South.
Mr. Delroy here has little interest in Angus South, but like Sonny Jim, he refuses to comment.
Oh. Oh, well, that makes things a bit difficult.
He's asked to speak to his solicitor. What bloody cheek! Couldn't believe my ears.
I know my rights.
A word in your ear, will be.
Right, empty your pockets.
Eh?
You've got to empty your pockets.
I ain't saying nothing.
Do it without talking then.
No.
It's procedure, Delroy. It's your rights. There's a set of events which must be carried out in order before you get your rights to phone your solicitor. Before we let you do that, you've got to empty your pockets.
I never knew that.
Look on it as an education then. Write this down. 1 packet cigarette papers.
1 packet cigarette papers.
1 tin containing tobacco.
1 tin containing tobacco.
3 keys on ring.
3 keys on ring.
50 pence in coins.
50 pence.
In coins as opposed to notes. £3 notes in wallet. 1 underground train ticket dated February the 12th, value 60p. 1 airmail letter postmarked Trenchtown. 1 photo. 1 comb containing hair. 1 packet of half-empty cheese biscuits. Give us a watch. One watch. Anything else?
No.
Right then, Delroy. Dial 9 for a line. Something the matter? Line all right?
It's...
Well, come on, Delroy, get a move on. All the fuss and aggravation you've caused demanding your rights will be his missed his supper break.
It's just... I ain't got a solicitor. I don't exactly know any solicitors.
You don't have to play golf with them. All you got to do is phone one up. Them's your rights.
Well, there was one I talked to at the law centre. But I don't know the number. Do you know the number?
No.
Well, what do I do?
Do?
I want to talk to a solicitor.
You're asking me. Me? What you should do.
Well, if you know any solicitors.
I know dozens.
I'd be grateful if you'd...
What?
Well, if you'll tell me one's name, so I'd phone them up if you know the number.
Do you hear that? Tollerton, Davis and Ladd.
Thank you. Do you know a number?
544-2378.
Thank you.
Oh, Delroy. That's the office number. It's now 2 o'clock in the morning.
That's personal what you're looking at there.
Who is this?
Photo.
Who?
It's a photo of Georgie.
Your wife?
Yes.
Who died tonight? So this is a letter from her then?
Yes.
She wrote you a letter then?
Yes, sir.
What's she doing writing your letter then?
Well, some years ago.
From Trenchtown.
She went there with the baby.
Well, she went back to Trenchtown. Why?
Holiday. How can that awful flies to fucking Nignog land? Pretty leg, don't go there.
We were going to go back there to live.
She wasn't especially talented at writing letters, was she?
It's the only one she ever wrote.
To you?
I kept it.
I can't read this scroll.
Well, a poem, is it? Is it a poem?
I missed her when she went there.
By there you mean Trenchtown?
So you was thinking of going back home. Pity you didn't.
Well, we talked about it. The circumstances here. A job in Sudbury. I had to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Walk for miles.
Should have gone back. Back home.
And we had another baby coming, so to make her life here seem.
So your missus went to sort out the possibilities.
She liked the idea. We were saving up. 4.5 years.
She come back.
Then she had another baby.
You must have been pleased when she come back.
I lost the job. Never the money, like.
It's a poem then? She wrote poetry then?
Nah. It's a song. She thought I'd miss her when she went. I did. A week before she went, we went to this concert in the Lyceum. Marley, he sang it. Her name in the song and her going back like, well, it was her song to me. Me to her.
No woman, no cry. I remember when we used to sit by the government garden in Trenchtown. That was a place of rest. We would mingle with the good people we meet, good friends we have, good friends we lost.
Good friends we lost.
You read it.
Along the way, in this great future, you can't forget your past. Sobriety, as I say. No woman, no cry. Little darling, don't shed no tears. I remember when we used to sit in the government garden in Trenchtown, and then Georgie would make a firelight, so it was wood smoke burning through the night,
And then we would go to the forest for things I share with you. My feet is my only carriage. 'Cause I'm gonna push on through, but what I'm gonna believe is everything's gonna be all right. Everything is gonna be all right.
But it's not all right, is it? You should have got out, Delroy, when you had the chance. I wouldn't like to be a nigger in the New England. Yesterday they voted for price of bacon and a tanner off your tax. They talked about supermarkets and jobs. They didn't mention what was going to happen to the likes of dull scroungers like you. There'll be no protection now. I think the results tonight prove that people got a bit sick of all that. Sick of civil fucking liberties and anti-fucking Nazi leagues having riots in our decent streets and thousands of honest coppers being dragged out to stop fucking yids and Pakis and Indians and God knows who bashing hell out of half a dozen stupid, inarticulate, redneck fascists. They got sick, all right. They got so sick, they formed a special force, a special patrol group. It's all trained up, waiting for the order. I think things are going to be different from now on, Delroy. I think you lot step out of line from now on, and there'll be no fucking doll, mate. Just a one-way ticket home.
Racist.
I was rather hoping you were going to be able to resist using that particular insult, Mr. Delroy. It has the effect of bringing back some unfortunate memories for Mr. Wilby here. Doesn't it, Wilby?
Does indeed.
Tell him what happened.
I'd rather not.
That is an instruction, Mr. Wilby.
There was a riot and in the bustle, the demonstrators, they were kicking us. And then when we protected ourselves, they screamed, when the television cameras were on them, they screamed, racist pigs, fascist pigs. Do I have to continue, sir?
Tell him! Tell him what happened before the special patrol group.
We were unprotected. And I was kicked, harshly in the genitals. And Rusty, my dog, he went berserk. He chased the demonstrator to his house. And I was on the end of the lead in pain. And Rusty chased him up his stairs. But he opened the door of his room and he slammed it hard, shut, crushing Rusty's skull in the gap. I was powerless to help. Rusty's head was smashed tight in the closed door, and the demonstrator, he was too afraid to open it. The dog screamed in agony. And the demonstrator inside the room, the youth, he reached out and he picked up a weighing machine, a heavy old weighing machine, and he struck Rusty repeatedly over the head with it.
crushing his skull till he died. And I thought that was extremely cruel to do to a dog! Yeah, sure, but I don't see what any of that's got to do with me.
Tonight, your wife was found dead in highly suspicious circumstances. She was in enormous pain, screaming out loud and bleeding like a soda fountain.
On the bedside table were pills. It was like a chemist shop.
Yeah, I got them for her. When?
She was having a lot of pain last night.
A lot?
Yeah, she had it 6 months ago, bellyache. You know, she went up to the hospital. This is when she found out she was pregnant.
You didn't know?
Didn't like to think about it.
Why not?
Well, when she said she'd missed her period, the thought of another kid.
I understand.
These rooms are really quite frightful. They smell. The whole house smells of Jay's fluid.
I understand why you'd have wanted to end the pregnancy.
Well, she didn't believe in that.
Morally.
She doesn't look like a very moral woman. She wears fake eyelashes.
I understand. Is that why you never went to see a doctor about a legal abortion?
I went to the doctor for something for her pain.
When?
This morning.
It was bad again this morning.
It was terrible this morning.
You spent 3 fucking hours down the pub!
She was all right after I went to the doctor this morning.
You went to the doctor?
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Your wife's in pain, so you go to the doctor? If she'd had a toothache, would you have gone to the dentist?
She couldn't walk for pain.
When did he visit her?
He didn't visit her.
Why not?
He said it wasn't necessary.
She's dead!
I asked him to come, but he said it was the baby. The time that she was pregnant, he said it was normal sometimes.
Well, he doesn't sound like a very conscientious doctor to me.
Right.
His name?
I don't know.
You don't know the name of your own doctor?
I can't pronounce it.
So you just left it at that?
Well, he gave me some pills. Well, I mean, he gave them for her.
And?
I went to the chemist and I got them and she took them. I mean, he gave me this prescription and I got them and she took them. She was very hot.
You said she was shivering. You were trying to mend the fire.
She said she was shivering.
The pills, the pills.
She took them. Since she felt a lot better, she had a kick. She was asleep. She was a lot better.
So you went down the pub.
I weren't going to go. She wanted me to go.
So you went?
Yes. Sir.
At your flat, my chaps found a screwdriver. It was long and thin and very bloody. It was covered in blood. The same blood that was on the nightie and the sheets and the floor.
I was trying to mend the gas fire.
It was smothered in your wife's blood.
Stop going on about her bleeding and fucking bloody all the time.
The casualty doctors, as soon as they saw her, they knew. Right away, they phoned us up. They said someone's done an abortion on her. All the signs of interference. You did it. You fucking killed her. You left her dying and went boozing down the pub.
That's lies. That's fucking lies.
That poor woman. You wiped her out like that.
Oh. I didn't mean...
Get easy on yourself. Admit it now, Delroy. Then we can all go home and watch the election results. Will we? Watch it.
I'm sorry, Georgie.
Presided at the polling booths and counted our count, and a particular word of thanks to the police for the way in which they have dealt with everything which has transpired. Everything which has transpired.
Callahan's expected to resign at any minute. Thorpe lost his seat. He lost Devon. Got Mr. Khan in very high spirits. He'd be positively elated if he hadn't to hang around here all night. For you, he'll book you as soon as the post-mortem comes through. Not long now.
Someone must help me.
I would call you GP, only you said you couldn't remember his name. I can't see any bruising. Mind you, it probably wouldn't show up anyway, would it?
This is a nightmare. And this doesn't happen in England.
Been quite a time for you, isn't it? One way or the other.
My children.
I don't think you'll be seeing them for quite a long time.
There must be someone I can talk to.
Well, everyone here is very angry with you. They think you're a savage, doing what you've done. I mean, we appreciate your limited finances, but you can get abortions on the national health.
I never did it.
Well, that's just not true.
I love her.
Takes all sorts.
Has she confessed yet?
No.
Then fuck him. As soon as the doctor rings, charge him, have him up in court at 10:30. I want this case public today.
And you don't. Let him chew his bollocks off.
Bacon's like old rope. Should have gone back to Trenchtown when you had the chance. Been better off there. To where you're going. I don't know. I don't know why you didn't see the writing on the wall. How much dole did you say you get? I mean, why the fuck should we be bled for the likes of you? What do you think it was going to be like when you got over here?
I was born here.
Yeah, but your father weren't.
Someone somewhere in your family weren't.
Skip reckons Keith Joseph will be Home Secretary. There's a no-nonsense man. He'll ship a lot of you home. Government will run the full 5 years. Thatch will be the governor in 1984. There's a thought. You a political man, Mr. Delroy?
Yesterday, I'd have said no. Today it begins.
Well, if there's a by-election, you'll be able to stand as a candidate, since you're on a murder charge. It was an incident. Refresh my memory, Wilby. In the job, I read it. Some prisoner, prisoner refused. They wouldn't let him play rugby. Rugby union for the prison team. He was a murderer too. Yeah, I remember reading it. The president of the Rugby Union Federation, or whatever it was, said, there are no rules in rugby union preventing convicted murderers from playing our game, but this man cannot play for the team because he has played rugby league. I don't know, we're all balmy.
Thought lost then.
You lost your bet.
Yeah, well, government ministers are losing their seats.
No one is safe from the Thatch.
Yes. Yes. All right then. That was the governor. He wants to see her.
Well, I'm waiting for the post-mortem.
They've called him.
Well?
He wants to see her. Now? Urgently.
Fuck it. Will we entertain Mr. Delroy?
Looking rather subdued, Mr. Delroy. You in a reflective mood, perhaps? Do things differently? Change things? Is that what you're thinking?
I'm thinking.
Not have children. Not getting married.
I'm thinking about the day this white boss called me a lazy fucking nigger. This white boss in a factory in Sudbury. He was so ignorant, and I thought, don't fight him. He's winding you up. Let it go. Yes. I'm thinking I wish I'd kicked his fucking teeth down his throat.
Well, that wouldn't have achieved anything. Except the sack.
I got the sack anyway. I'd felt better when you did me over though. I'd have dreamt I was doing it to you. I'm innocent.
Sure.
I didn't do it. I never did it.
Do it. Cock up. Fucking doctor's got it wrong. He never did it.
But I said...
I know what they fucking said. They went straight to the governor to explain their mistake. It looked like what they said at the post-mortem review. It seems you're owed an apology, Mr. Delroy. Your wife died of an ectopic pregnancy. There was a rupture in her fallopian tube. The fetus was stuck there. It was starting to grow there. The tube is the width of a hair. The doctors said this accounted for the vast hemorrhage. Also explained why she would have experienced some discomfort. He also said it seemed definite, given the screwdriver all bloody. It's a rare complication. Well, blame the fucking doctors, don't blame me.
No.
You can go.
Go. Just like that.
If I to go, do you want to lift?
I'll go on my own. My kids.
We'll notify social services.
I want the pieces of my photo and the letter.
Your possessions? We have 1 pack cigarette papers, 1 tin containing tobacco, 3 keys on ring, 50p in coins, 1 wallet, £3 notes, 1 underground ticket dated 12th of February, value 60p, 1 airmail letter postmarked Trenchtown, 1 photo, 1 comb containing hair, 1 almost empty pack of cheese biscuits, 1 watch. I'll just sign there, please. I want to make a phone call.
To social services?
Yes.
Did you find the number, Wilby? You're not an unintelligent man, Mr. Delroy. Surely you can appreciate, given the circumstantial evidence and the...
Have I got to listen to you?
I just don't want you getting what happened out of proportion.
There you are.
Mr. Delroy, I wouldn't bother wasting your time and energies on any exaggerated heroic expectations. Not a unique case. Let it be forgotten. I advise you very strongly. Drop it. Very well. Mr. Delroy, let me bring you up to date on the reasons why you were unfortunately delayed here on the night your wife died. There were a number of breakings and enterings in the area. A witness saw someone leaving a premises. It could have been you. You were detained here on suspicion of breaking and entering. When we heard of your wife's tragic demise, we offered you comfort, looked after your children, and dropped all possible charges. Or better still, tell you what. I'll tell you why you were here tonight, Delroy. You were here on SAS.
I know full well the responsibilities that await me as I enter the door of number 10, and I'll strive unceasingly to try to fulfill the trust and confidence that the British people have placed in me and the things in which I believe. And I would just like to remember some words of St. Francis of Assisi, which I think are really just particularly apt at the moment. Where there is discord, may we bring harmony. Where there is error, may we bring truth. Where there is doubt, may we bring faith. And where there is despair, may we bring hope.